This video is about Secret Footpath, which is piece B3 in the 23 to 24 initial grade pieces book. Nice little piece. I'm going to start by talking about the left hand. So your left hand is in what we might call a D minor position. The left hand is there with your pinky on D. That's D below middle C. It's just within the range of my camera. And it doesn't move from there. So it stays in that 5-note position. The only sort of little change in position that happens is right at the very end, your third finger moves from F to F sharp to play that very last note. Now, if you look at the left-hand part, it seems most of the bars seem a bit complicated because you have, for instance, at the beginning, you have a note, but you have a rest over it, and then you have another note. You have a semi-breve, a 4-beat note. Above that, you have a 1-beat rest, and then you have a 3-beat note. And you might think, well, how do I count that? Do I hold that for 4 and then play? No. When you get what appear to be 2 lines of music, 2 separate lines of music within one hand, like this, what it means is that it's as if there are 2 voices singing or 2 different instruments playing at the same time. So one of them, what we might call the bass, just plays D2, sorry, that's the wrong note, D2, 3, 4, D2, 3, 4, and so on. That it does that in fact for 8 bars. Meanwhile, the other voice over the first one doesn't play anything on the first beat. Then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That happens in every bar except actually bar 12, the last bar of the third line, where there's only 1 line of music. Because the composer only wants 1 sound at a time. But basically, in all the other bars, at least at some point in the bar, there will be 2 notes sounding at once. So that first line of the music in the left hand should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice I play that on the first beat, that on the second beat, but I don't take that off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bars 5 to 8 are the same. Then the next line we start with the F, third finger. Then the bar I talked about, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice the pause sign both on the final F sharp and also on the D. So the F sharp at the end replaces the A, so we don't keep holding the A. So it's as if the lower voice goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bit longer because of the pause sign, whereas the upper voice goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and holds it also a bit longer. So together it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and pause. I think I'm going to go through all that left-hand part once more. I won't talk this time, I'll just count myself in and then play. 1, 2, 3, 4. last F sharp was very arguably too quiet at the end, but notice there is a diminuendo there, so we're already quiet and we're getting quieter. Okay, so that's the left hand. Now the right hand does have to change position. So at the start it's in also a D minor position, so thumb on D, and it changes position just at the very end of the second line when it goes up to here. Now, that final note of the second line, with a 3 over it, is of course not B but B flat, because we have a key signature of B flat. The note only occurs a couple of times there and 2 bars later, but it's a B flat. So if you think you're going to forget that, you can always mark it in pencil. Okay, so quite a lot of rests in the right hand, but anyway, I think I'll just play it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, move. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, move back. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Okay, so it doesn't always do what you expect, because for the first few bars, the left hand doesn't play, well, the first 3 bars, the right hand, I beg your pardon, the right hand doesn't play on the first beat. And for a lot of the bars, it doesn't, but occasionally it does. For instance, at the end of the first line, you've got to go. So it's going to play there with the left, which can catch you out, because up to there, they haven't played together. It's been left, left, right, 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 and so on. But then you have to be prepared for when they do play together, and those parts will need extra practice. Before we look at that in more detail, let's just look at those moves again. So the first move from here to there, so first of all, make sure you know exactly where your fingers are going. You stay in a 5-note position, so your thumb is going from D to G, and your third is going to be on the black keys. So first of all, just practice that move. Now, when to move? Well, you move during the 1-beat rest in bar 8. So if I play from bar 7, watch exactly when I move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have a beat's rest in which to move, which is nice. And because it's not a very fast piece, you'll find that it's actually plenty of time, as long as you know where you're going. So focus, probably the best thing to do is focus on the note B flat and focus on the third finger moving there. The other fingers will fall into place. So we've done, I'm thinking about this finger. And if you need to look down, remember that if we're using our eyes to make sure we get a position change correct, don't watch your hand moving. That's not helpful. If you're going to look at the note you're going to play after moving, and let your eyes get there first, and then it's easy to move. So you're not watching yourself playing this and then watching while you're playing this, at least from that point, you're already looking there. And then you can easily move. Good. Then we stay there until bar 11. So I'm just going to play from that last bar of 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we have a beat's rest. This time it's the first beat in the bar in which to move. And we have to move back. Now, the way I like to move here is a bit like you would in a scale. You've just played G with your thumb. So it's should feel quite easy just to bring your third finger over onto the F and then let the other fingers fall into place like this. Let me play that again. I'll play from the same place. 1, 2, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. Or if you don't want to do that bringing a finger over, you can just move your whole hand sideways the same way you did when you're moving up. So I'll show you what that looks like now from the same place. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Either is quite easy. That is easier for me, but it may not be easier for you. Just so you just have to move back to your starting position. I'll just play through the whole of the right hand once more. I'll take it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so as always, practice each hand separately first. Now, as I say, putting them together, a lot of it, certainly at the beginning, will be relatively straightforward. Remember to hold the left-hand notes that need to be held, but the first 3 bars, not so difficult because the hands never actually start a note at the same time. So. Took my right hand finger off a little soon there. But then suddenly they play together. So you will need, especially to practice, the transition from bar 4 to 5. Because that will catch you up. You sort of get used to thinking, okay, right hand never plays on the first beat and then start. Oh, in fact, it does there in bar 4. I beg your pardon. Yeah, so bar 4 is the first place where the hands play together. So, as always, practice, when you're putting the hands together, practice really slowly, think quickly, play slowly. If necessary, work backwards from the tricky bit. So, beginning of bar 4, we have to play that, play that, play that, play them together, then go from a note before, then a couple of notes before, and so on. So, same here. Are you ready for that? Okay, now, another tricky point, of course, is when the right hand moves, the left hand doesn't. So as long as you know what notes you're going to play, what fingers are going to go down, it should be okay. And that is probably one of the hardest bits because you have to move the right hand and you have to play, and the hands are also playing together. So you'll need to practice bar 11 especially. Well, 10 and 11. So going from bar 10. And then the rest is goes back to, you know, the hands not actually starting a note at the same time. Just needs practice. I will play all the way through at about that speed. I don't think it's meant to be very fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we pause at the end, so we hold the notes for a bit longer. You can decide exactly how much longer. Let the sound die away a bit. But as always, make sure the hands come off neatly together. Okay, I think that's enough on that. So that's the end of this video. I hope that was helpful.